You are listening to Dear Texas Radio, where we encourage Texans to drop everything and read. Your host for today is B. Allen Bourgeois.
And welcome to Dear Texas. We do encourage you to drop everything and read, but if you've heard me before, you know I'm going to say, don't break it. We don't want you to break anything. We just want you to put it down. Pick up a great book by a Texas author. Sit back, relax, let the worries of the day just pass you through as you read a wonderful novel, whether it be fiction or nonfiction. It doesn't matter. Just reading is good for you. It helps relax you and puts you in a better frame of mind. Today is a special show that we're doing for the Authors Marketing event that's coming up at the end of July, July 28th through the 30th in Houston, Texas. It is a weekend event that is all about marketing for authors. Today I have with me Tui Snider, who will be talking about Twitter for writers, how to make your tweets matter. Welcome, Tui.
Well, thanks for having me, Alan. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, we're thrilled you're going to be at our event. So let's go into some basics here. Twitter is a very popular social media system, short, simple tweets, but like Facebook and Instagram and everybody else, people get inundated with so much information. How can you then make your tweets count? Tell us.
Yes, and it is funny to me how this all came about. How I got so interested in Twitter. Like you say, it's a very simple social media app. Twitter is just a short little message. It's like a text message, and it's become very popular in recent years. Of course, it had a slow start as well. It didn't even know what it was going to be at the beginning. But the whole reason I decided to develop a talk about Twitter, I actually give talks about a whole bunch of other subjects. I usually, I write books about Texas travel and history and even cemetery symbols. So, usually I'm talking about things like that. And unlike maybe some of the other people that I see coming to the Authors Marketing event, which I'm super excited to be part of, I don't have a marketing degree. I'm not someone who's, aside from selling, countless boxes of Girl Scout cookies as a kid, I'm not, up here surrounded by a dry erase board with charts and graphs. I just kind of stumbled onto a way that writers can really use Twitter. And like a lot of indie authors, I go to just as many book festivals as I possibly can. I like to get out. It's fun too. Writing, of course, can be very solitary. You're all holed up. So it's fun to go out and mix and mingle and meet some other authors. And there's always that moment at these events, maybe sometime in the afternoon, things slow down, and the other authors sitting there, we end up gathered around somebody's book table, whoever has the best candy giving out or bookmarks or something, and we start talking about what works for us and what doesn't. And inevitably, someone will say, I hate Twitter, usually, and then other people will chime in, yeah, Twitter is such a waste of time. I tried Twitter. Twitter sucks. It just goes from there. To which I peep up, and I'm always like, really? Because, I have to step in here, because to me, a couple of years ago, I was looking back on my, writing career and how it's kind of gone along, and I suddenly realized that Twitter had been like one of those friends you have who's just quietly always supported you and been friendly, and maybe you took them a little for granted, and then you look back at your life and you realize, whoa, so-and-so, it's just been the best friend. So when that's how I feel about Twitter, because I've gotten paid writing assignments, I've gotten magazine assignments, radio interviews, and even speaking engagements, even including the Authors Marketing event, through Twitter, and fairly directly through Twitter. So when I hear people saying how much they dislike it, other writers, it's like they're criticizing a friend of mine, and I feel like I have to chime in and go, no, here, let's talk about how to do Twitter, because Twitter, you mentioned it's simple, and I like to compare it to brewing a cup of coffee. Yeah, brewing a cup of coffee is something everybody can do, but we all know that some people, just their coffee ends up tasting better. They just are doing a few simple things differently, come up with something tasty and worth drinking. And it's that same thing with Twitter. So one thing that I see, so I back up, let me see how I can kind of make this concise. When I'm sitting there talking, chewing the fat with other authors, one thing I do is like I'll ask to look at their Twitter account, or I ask, what did you not like about Twitter? And usually Facebook pops up. And they'll say, well, I wish it, in so many words, maybe not directly, but the gist of it is, I wish Twitter were more like Facebook. And I have to tell them, okay, obviously, I know it's obvious to say that Twitter is not Facebook, but I think in some fundamental ways that people don't even really realize, they kind of expect the two to be very similar. And so what I then tell them is like, okay, Facebook, that's kind of like that bar on Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Facebook is very much, when you get a Facebook friend request, it's from people you know, or people who are connected to your mom or your friend, or people you know at work, but they aren't complete strangers. In fact, Facebook, I don't know, that sometimes they'll say to me, do you know this person? If I'm friending them, how do you know this person? They don't, it's like, they don't want you to talk to strangers. On Twitter, on the other hand, talking to strangers is like a really big component. That's what makes it so great. Twitter is a global conversation, and part of that global conversation means that you have to be out there talking to strangers. And I think that makes everybody just maybe a little uncomfortable, especially us writers who can be a shy bunch of people. So that's one little hurdle, I think. Are you there, Alan? Did I?
No.
I've been rambling so much, I realize
no.
I do go off the races. I get passionate about Twitter.
Yes. You have a decent amount of followers with close to 28,000 followers. How long did that take you to develop that?
Oh, gosh. That is a fairly recent thing. I joined Twitter in 2008, and Twitter was quite different back then. It was almost, by today's standards, it was quiet. I mean, when you would put a tweet up, you would practically want to dust it off. You would want to leave it up there for a while and make sure everybody saw it. And at that time, you wanted, I think I only followed maybe 30 people, which seemed like a lot, and maybe had 30 followers in return. And I would read every single tweet from every single person. And then it was kind of fun though. I was living in Italy at the time, so it was like a way to connect with people, other expatriates over there. So I started out with just very few followers in 2008. Then I think maybe around 2010 or 11, 2010, I hopped back into Twitter and started meeting writers. And that's when it took off. But probably from about 2011 on, it really started to grow, my Twitter following, as I learned more about it.
You, on your feed, have over 46,000 tweets. Are they all about books and the talks that you do, or are they just general stuff?
Oh, that's a really good question. I rarely tweet buy my book or here's my book on Amazon. But I do tweet things related to my book. I tweet things like I have a book coming out about cemetery symbols right now. So I share a lot of tweets about imagery that relates to the meaning of a certain symbol, or I retweet other people who are talking about the same topic. But I try to, and I think this is what can help writers, is kind of look at your profile, your Twitter profile. Think about what you are really about. I know we all hate to think of that word brand and branding, but you want to think about the main things related to you, and you want to make your Twitter feed helpful to other people so that when other people come to it, hopefully most of the time they're going to scroll down the page and they're not going to see just a whole page of you saying thank you to other people. Instead of saying thank you, this is a big tip, I hardly ever thank people directly on Twitter. I just go and I to say thank you, if they've retweeted me, I go to their page and I retweet their pinned tweet, because when you pin a tweet, that's a way to affix a tweet to the top of your page. I think most people know, but maybe not everybody. When you pin a tweet, you're saying this tweet's important to me. I'd like other people to see it. And so that's how I say thank you. Then when someone comes to my page, and I try to make sure that what I retweet might be of interest to people who follow me. I have a fairly broad range of interests, but I do it does focus primarily on Texas, travel, cemetery symbols, and quirky stuff, and then cat photos and goofy stuff because I am kind of goofy. And then also I like to promote my friends. So I call myself a creative cheerleader. I'm always out to help my other friends out. So if they're trying to promote something, that's another thing I'll retweet. So of the 46,000 tweets, a lot of it is me trying to be valuable. And then another part of it is me having actual conversations with people about different things.
Okay. I've just learned something new that I've not heard of before, and that was pinned tweets. I'm looking at your Twitter feed, and I see you have done that. So is this something you're going to be covering in the class?
Oh, yes. I will talk about, I've pinned tweets for sure, and I'm going to be talking about, some tools, some of my favorite little tricks of the trade, things to streamline it, because a big complaint, and I totally get this, as writers, we are not like, ordinary mortals who can just hop on the internet and watch hours of YouTube videos of cats. We have to be focused with our time. I mean, even when I research things, I actually set a kitchen timer just to kind of keep myself, for 20 minutes. And then when it goes off, I make sure I'm staying on topic. As writers, when we get online, we have to think about what we're doing with our time. My husband comes home from work and he can just, go online and look at cat photos. That's fine. But it's different for us. We have to be very focused. So pinning a tweet is a way to think of being focused. Also, you don't have to be on there for hours and hours. I really want to stress this. If I could just get one point across. A lot of people tell me they don't want to use Twitter because they're already using so many things and there's only so many hours in the day, and I totally get that. But you can streamline it and come up with a very sane little Twitter time for yourself. But you do, especially in the beginning, you need to be consistent so that you build friendships. That's actually the biggest secret of all, is just the big key to being successful as a writer on Twitter is building friendships. It's not really directly going out there and promoting yourself, but you inadvertently, that promotes your writing. That's the paradox or the irony, I guess.
Okay. We're going to stop right here. It's time for a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about different programs that help with the tweeting and stuff of that nature. But we will be back shortly.
Critics say that Joe Kilgore's A Farmhouse in the Rain has an almost Shakespearean feel and appeals to the human spirit on every level. You can pick up a copy of Joe Kilgore's Farmhouse in the Rain as an ebook or as paperback. You can find it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or at books.txauthors.com. Don't forget to get your copy of Joe Kilgore's A Farmhouse in the Rain.
Dear Texas would like to thank our sponsors.
Are you looking for a book festival in your area? Check out the Book Festival Network, where you can find local Texas book festivals, plus information about the attending authors, their books, and even videos. The website is easy to remember. It's bookfestival.network. Don't forget to spell out network. Again, that's bookfestival.network, your home for Texas book festivals and Texas authors. Read, connect, and discover. We have it all at Wimberley Village Library. We support our community by providing high-quality books in all formats. We have programs for all ages and many services to fill your needs. Check us out online at wimberleylibrary.org.
Bourgeois Media and Consulting, a book publishing consultant where creative inspiration is realized. More at bourgeoismedia.com. EBG 247, where you can find ebooks galore 24 hours, 7 days a week at ebg247.com. Lone Star Book Festival is an exciting book festival to discover indie authors and publishers. To learn more about the award-winning authors, events, and other exciting events happening during the Lone Star Book Festival, please visit our website at lonestarbookfest.com. The third annual short story contest begins March 1st and runs through July 31st. Enter your short story for a chance at prizes and getting published. To learn more about this annual event, please visit our website at txshorts.com. McKinney, Texas's quaint downtown square, rich in history, entices visitors to discover its more than 100 eclectic shops and eateries. With origins dating back to 1848, McKinney is situated just 30 miles north of Dallas and 40 miles south of the Oklahoma border. One of the country's fastest-growing cities, McKinney maintains its authentic small-town atmosphere, which is palpable when exploring the downtown streets, taking a walk on one of the city's many nature trails, or even visiting the city's Croatian-style village. Learn more about what awaits you in this picturesque North Texas city at www.visitmckinney.com, or call 888-649-8499.
You are listening to Dear Texas Radio, where we encourage Texans to drop everything and read. Your host for today is B. Allen Bourgeois.
And welcome back to Dear Texas. We do hope you do pick up a great book by Texas author. Sit back and relax and enjoy the day, the evening, whenever it is you choose to read. Just let the worries of the day pass you by. This is a special edition of the author's marketing event, which is coming up July 28th through the 30th in Houston. It is an event that is designed to help Texas authors or any author around the world to learn how to better market and sell themselves. So if you're not able to attend the event in Houston, there are order online and still get certified. And we are the only organization in the world that certifies authors in marketing. So we do hope you will join and learn and grow. I have with me Tui Snider, who's talking about her session that she's doing, Twitter for Writers, How to Make Tweets Matter. She's brought up some interesting points of view, and welcome back, Tui. I have some more questions for you. You ready?
I am ready, Alan. Bring them on.
All righty. So with Facebook, you of course are able to add a lot more information, including pictures, videos, and things of that nature. With Twitter, you have to keep it short and simple, but you can still add in pictures and videos. Are pictures and videos more valuable for a tweet than not to have them?
Yeah, it's good to have a mix. If you are sharing a blog post, usually I think Twitter will share a photo along with it. It is a good idea to have a photo with your tweet. And earlier, I'm not sure exactly when they did it. I do lose track of time in Twitter. But I don't know, maybe within the last year, Twitter made it so that when you add a photo, it doesn't impact the amount of characters in your tweet the way it used to. So now it's easier to share photos. It used to be a little bit of a bother because you would try to share a photo and then you would hardly have any characters left to tweet. But I do suggest doing that, especially in your pinned tweets. Your pinned tweet, you could even have you could go to a wonderful tool is canva.com, and you can easily create a graphic there. You don't have to be some sort of Photoshop wizard. It's a very easy drag and drop program. I've even designed a book cover in Canva before. It's a very good, useful tool, and you could create something. So let's say you have a book coming out or you want an award. You could go to Canva, and they have already there, they have something like a little Twitter-sized graphic. They'll tell you right there. You don't even have to guess what's the best size for Twitter. It'll say Twitter graphic. You click on it, and then you can just drag and drop pictures of your cover and choose fonts that say, hey, I just won this award. And then let's say you make that your pinned tweet, and you might get some traction with that because as people scroll along through their busy Twitter feed, they might, if you make an eye-catching graphic, that's a really good way to catch people's attention. Definitely.
Okay. Now, if you wouldn't mind spelling out that word you said.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's Canva. It's C-A-N-V as in vampire, A. So C-A-N-V-A. In fact, if you use Canva and you tweet to them at Canva, they will reply to you. They are very friendly. I was telling a friend about, because I like to share any tool that I find that is useful, and I tweeted something like, I love Canva, yada, yada, and then they got back, 2 minutes later, hey, we love you, thanks for sharing the news. So they are very, if you get stuck or have issues with Canva, they are very interactive, and then they're on Twitter. So it's a really good graphic program for creating, for writers, I believe.
Okay.
Oddly, go ahead. I was going to say, oddly enough, when people talk about Twitter tools, especially when they're first starting out, but this is something I still use all the time, and it's easy to overlook because it seems so simple. But I'm talking about when you're using Twitter on your computer, although you can use it on your phone this way as well. But I often go to the search bar and just search. Let's say you're writing a book about someone from Jamaica and you're curious about Jamaican slang. You want to write a realistic dialogue. Gosh, what would they say? Type in the words Jamaica and dialogue, see what comes up, or find Jamaica writers, a writer who lives in Jamaica, and then just, make friends with them, say hi, and say, hey, Joe down in Jamaica, does this seem like a realistic, through a series of tweets, would someone from Jamaica use this as slang for they stubbed their toe or something? It's a great way to do some research and make a friend somewhere else along the way. Or just, not necessarily to approach a person, but if there's a certain topic that you're interested in, giraffes or butterflies or who knows what, just type that into Twitter and you might find that there's a festival about giraffes nearby that you didn't even know about, or maybe one state over, because these things will come up for you on Twitter in ways. It's just a little bit of digging. And all it is that little search bar. I use it all the time to zero in on things and find fun, interesting things to share or answer questions.
You're going to be talking, of course, of the automation aspect. Hootsuite is one of those great programs that is free for people to set up tweets way in advance, or Facebook at the same time. You're also going to be talking about chats, Twitter chats. What is the definition of a Twitter chat?
A Twitter chat is when people use a specific hashtag. I lead one, actually I've led one for the past 5 years, every Thursday, giving them a little plug here, called Story Dam. And it's for writers of all kinds to come and chat for an hour about writing. But there are all sorts of chats, and I will be sharing some of my favorite ones for writers. There's one called Book Marketing Chat that Rachel Thompson leads that is phenomenal. I have learned so much. I usually sit there and take notes when actual physical notes with a pen and pad during Book Marketing Chat, and that is on Wednesdays. Texas time, I believe it's 8 to 9. Now, how this works is people on Twitter, you know how it is on Facebook. That's the thing that makes Facebook and Twitter different, is people just post things whenever on Facebook, and then you get home from work or you have a minute and you hop on. People don't really chat back and forth so much. I mean, sometimes you end up on Facebook at the same time and you sort of are chatting in real time. But Twitter, as I said before, it really is a global conversation. And so these little chats are like the little groups you would see at a party where people kind of huddle in the corner. You see a group of people sitting on a couch, and you walk by and you eavesdrop for a second. And you think, do I want to join that conversation or not? Well, the way you do that on Twitter is you would use a hashtag. So you find out that there is a tweet like Book Marketing Chat. And that's a long hashtag, but sometimes they're shorter. Anyway, you could type Book Marketing Chat into your search bar on Twitter, and then it's important that what it's going to dish up right away is going to be the most popular tweets, but there's another little tab up there that says Live. Click on the Live bar, and then you will see live as they happen, people tweeting about that particular hashtagged topic. And with a chat, people are there. They're usually only an hour long, but they get very lively, and they're just, I don't know how it is with other industries, but with writers, writing chats, maybe it's because we tend to be introverts, I don't know, but they really can be very lively, very conversational, and really great. I've learned a lot from Twitter chats. But you can use it straight, attend one. Like I said, you can sort of eavesdrop by typing in that hashtag into the search bar, and then following along, and then if you decide you want to reply and be part of the conversation, hit reply or start a new tweet, and make sure you use the hashtag for the chat in your tweet. That way everyone will, quote unquote, hear you talking about that, and then they will chat back with you. And then make sure you follow some of the other people in that chat and see who you hit it off with and who you make friends with. I like to do chats from something called TweetDeck. It's really easy, and I had it works on a wide range of computers. So it's not like it takes a lot of, an intense machine, really tons of RAM or anything. But to use TweetDeck, you just type tweetdeck.com into your browser, and I have it up all the time in the background when I'm working, because I can keep my eye on all sorts of, let me walk over to my computer and see what I've got up there. I'm keeping my eye on all sorts of chats and friends. I've got, my notifications up there. So you can have like Folklore Thursday. That's a wonderful hashtag that I really like, so I like to just follow along on that. But you can have columns with different hashtags in it. And so that makes it easy for you to follow along with the chat and take part in it. And I think Twitter chats are just wonderful. And I highly recommend for writers that that's a really wonderful way. Even if you only use Twitter once a week, find a chat that you like and go use Twitter then. And that could just be all you need to do to make some great friends and really get something out of Twitter.
Okay.
Of course, you're all invited to my chat, I should say.
And you're talking about TweetDeck, which is TweetDeck. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Want to make sure that people get the right spots and stuff. We only have 2 minutes
definitely.
left. If you could real quickly explain why coming to your session or the author's marketing event would be of value to any author.
Oh, wow, let's see. Now that I've got to be concise, that's always challenging for me. Although I do use Twitter a lot, I should be concise. When I think this is going to be a wonderful event, because, and I know it's going to be, because when you get this many people together who are all there in the trenches really using these tools, you're going to be able to ask them in person and get to, people can ask me questions before and after and during the session. And I hope to do the same with all the wonderful sessions there's going to be. I'm really looking forward to the event, Alan, and I really appreciate that you put it together. It's going to be just an amazing opportunity for authors in this day and age. We have to take the helm and really do a lot of the work ourselves. We don't want to waste our time. And this author's marketing event, and hopefully my talk as well, is going to help people use their valuable time and get the most out of it.
Well, I thank you for that, and I've already learned some things just in this phone call alone. So I'm sure when I'm sitting in there videotaping the session, I'll learn a lot more. But we are looking forward to having you there, and we do look forward to seeing you again July 28th through the 30th in Houston. If they're not able to attend, they're more than welcome to purchase the video packages and learn from there. We will be in Dallas next year, actually Las Colinas from the 27th through the 29th of July, so you can always plan to be there as well. Thank you very much, Tui, for your information, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much, Alan. I am excited. This is great.
Great.
Thank you for listening to Dear Texas Radio. To learn more about Dear Texas and its literacy programs, please visit their website at deartexas.info. I'm Alex Anthony, your announcer. Have a great day.